Yo, Joe!
It's here, guys. It's finally here. We have the Cobra Televiper and Cobra Flypod, also known as the Bubble Trouble or Trouble Bubble. Yeah, so that's the name of it. We have accessories in the corner. We got cool portrait of the Televiper. Cool little, kind of digital render scene here with not only one but multiple of his buddies. Not much at the bottom. G.I.Joe classified at the top. We get portrait, expanded. Very cool. Number 79 in the line. Really love this guy. And then we have, the back that we, know with the new packaging. Very cool. We have some zoom in shots on, I guess his shoulder Cobra logo, the back of the Trubble bubble, and then the radar on his wrist. And then again, we have a QR code and then the blue portrait on the side over here. Now, as always, when there's something I've been anticipating, I cannot wait to open it. So I did open it beforehand, and this is gonna be a total mess. But there's a black and white portrait of the Televiper there. Very cool. Would have been, that's why I kind of liked the older style of packaging, because you could have, different interpretations with different artists, and it would have been cool to see how they would have, done the art for not only the Televiper, but also the Trubble bubble. If we would have gotten, cool art of this, it would have been cool to see. But with that being said, that was the black and white portrait. And then in here, this is a very massive foot locker for the Televiper. You have number 79 there, Cobra logo at the top, 79, and then there's the entire name there. And then, you do have the goodies inside, and they are separated by these kind of cardboard pieces there. You get two separate baggies for all the accessories. But with that being said, I guess one last comparison I wanted to make, just to emphasize how thick this box is. Get this eel box that I have not thrown away, but to emphasize how thick this box is, it's about 2 of these regular classified boxes. So as you can see there, plenty of space in this box. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be this big, but I guess, what can you expect? They're packaging in this other vehicle with this character, and I absolutely love it. With that being said, I do have, if I can quickly get it, but I do have a second one, which I will open throughout this video, just to show you guys how everything comes packaged, and then to demonstrate how to put together the Trubble bubble, since they do come, or I should say there is some assembly required. But with that being said, let's look at the one that I already unboxed, and then we'll open this guy up and have 2 of them in hand. Yeah. Alright everyone, so this is what we have here. This is what we get, the Trubble bubble and the Televiper himself. We'll start with the accessories for the Televiper, since they are not basic. They are new, but we do get 2 separate head sculpts, which some people, are going to take advantage of. We do have 2 different ethnicities here. We have a black person and a white person. Where's the Mexican person? Hasbro, I'm giving you the approval to make a Mexican with a big old mustache, very stereotypical mustache for a Mexican. Just do it. I don't care. I'm Mexican. I'm giving you the okay. But yeah, there's the head sculpts. Very cool. And then, they're not the same, just to kind of change in color tone. As you can see, this individual's nose is much more different than this other guy's, and even the mouth expression are kind of different. They are kind of inverted, but even then, yeah, they're very different and they're not the same. There's this nice reflective paint on the visor there, so very cool to have these. I did. He does come packaged with the white head, but I do have this other head sculpt already on him because I think that looks cool. And I want to get the third one just so I can display all the different heads at once. I think that would look very cool. But yeah, this one has a lot of different details going for it, and I am all in for it. And yeah, I just really love this visor at the top of his eyes. So yeah, very cool. We move on to his, this is a scanner, and well, you know, he is a telecommunications, operator. So you have his back piece, which can send out radio waves and receive radio waves and all that stuff. And, his scanner does connect to it, so, he can scan around for G.I.Joe signal and then, receive those signals and notify Cobra, hey, this is what you're talking about. This guy on his bike, I swear, is very annoying today, but something I wanted to note is that he does have a porthole on his scanner there. So, like I said, this is a scanner, but you can put your Plastifix in it anyways. And that looks pretty dope. I mean, use your imagination. It's G.I. Joe, anything can happen. They can receive radio waves and probably use those radio waves to convert them into some sort of energy, and he was able to shoot them back out. I don't know. Use your imagination. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to do this. Because some people do stick to the lore and what each weapon can do, but it's G.I. Joe. It's not far out there that they could receive those signals and transform them into energy and shoot them back out. So there's some imagination from my part. With that being said, yes, this is a new backpack piece. The hose we've seen with Barbecue and Dr. Mindbender, but yeah, there's some nice purple buttons on there, nice antenna, and then you do have a peg there to store the gun. I find it very hard to the best option here is to just wrap or make the hose go around his arm, and then he can, you can port it in there, and then that looks pretty cool. It gives it a cool look. So I really dig that. I really much like that look. So yeah, there's that option for storage for his gun. But obviously, if we're gonna sit him in the Trubble bubble, he won't be able to have that on with him. Now, moving on to the next accessory, we do get this air mine. There's a number 9 there, and so yeah, very nice little addition. I believe it came with the vintage, the original Trubble bubble, so it's very nice to have this one here too. You do get a caution there and some letters there. Highly explosive, handle with care to remove, press, latch, release. And there is an indentation there for your nail or finger, and I found mine a bit hard to open up, but once you do, and the lid fell over, so once you do open it up, you do get some details in there. They're not painted in, but still very cool to see. We have a gear, a spring, and different little details in there. Very nice. I mean, very appreciative that they went the extra mile of making that openable and stuff. Makes for some good photography of the Televiper, working on the mine and setting it up. So yeah, there's that option. You also have a porthole here at the bottom, and just like before, you can probably use a blast effect to simulate it, going up into the air, because this is an air mine. So it's blasting up to the air and ready to blow up some future dragonflies that we are going to receive. Hopefully in summer. The haste tank has not shipped yet, so that's kind of a bummer, but yeah, those are going to be useful to take down the dragonflies. And now here we have the kind of main event really for some people, the Trubble bubble. Now, like I said, there is some assembly required. These sort of boosters here at the back, or propellers, whatever you want to call them, which do have a bit of a movement here, side to side. This comes apart. The missile rockets here on the side come apart as well. And it's actually two separate pieces. So you have the missile itself, you have the little thing here that just attaches to the side, and that allows the rocket to be placed on there. So there's that option. And then you have the other gun here at the front of a Trubble bubble, which also came separate, which a lot of people are having issues, breaking the ball joint, not a joint, but the ball point that comes down. I certainly see some widening on my gun there, but I don't think it's anything too crazy that I should worry about. And it does hinge, all the way around and up and down. And then you have some pivoting, so there's some good range there. You also have a porthole here, and you can port more blast effects. So, all those blast effects you have, they can come in handy now. So there's that. And there's just overall a lot of detail with this Trubble bubble. You have the front here, which, they mentioned in one of their live streams, would be more of a kind of virtual screen or whatever display, so that's pretty neat. You get a Cobra logo, some lines, different just red markings there. And then there's just overall a lot of details and paint all over this thing. You have some details there, painted black, some gray. You pop this down, you get sonar, radars, or whatever you want to call them, different gauges, different red paint in there for different buttons over here. You get sort of a speaker kind of thing there, some yellow paint in there. The seat is nicely detailed, and then you have these straps. You put your guy in there and then you strap him up. Very nice detail there as well. Would have been cool to see those painted as well, the buckles and stuff, but there's some nice texturing there as well. And then you get, propellers and stuff, bunch of bolts and texture down here. Yeah, just overall very cool. You get some words here: fuse, caution, electric pull, and twist to release. SB up there, you get some more mechanical stuff going on there, wiring and whatnot. You get 15E3 MO on this side. And then, as I said, there is some movement here. Danger, hot exhaust with some arrows, very nice. PE49L7A on this side, a Cobra's logo, and then, the Sky Striker there, which apparently means that this Televiper with this Trubble bubble has taken down 3 Sky Strikers. Which is going to be the same for all of them. Same deco, same lettering on this side, some more details. But yeah, there's just so much to look at with this Trubble bubble. I mean, even the gun itself, I didn't really focus on it, but there's some cool wiring going all around it. It just looks very futuristic. So yeah, very cool. And then even the handlebar here, we have another screen, kind of like that Star Wars kind of chasing, you get the pointer there. Very cool, very nicely done. I couldn't be any happier with this. I know a lot of people are happy with it. I didn't have the issue of popping on the hood here. I know a lot of people are struggling. I would say just jam it in there until it locks into place, and that should get it done. In order to put the guy in there, if you don't want to remove I guess the canopy, you can lower this down and then, you know, just put them in there, which I guess I can demonstrate right now. But just put that down, try to get the gun out of the way as much as you can to really lower it, and then you just put his head through the straps, put him in there, and obviously he's not in the best, you know, pose to you know, drive this thing, but you get the point. You know, he's in there, you buckle him up, and he's ready to go. But yeah, we still gotta look at the main figure itself, so with that being said, let's take a closer look at the Televiper. Now, the Televiper is reusing a lot of the Recondo body. I mean, I don't have one here with me out of the box, but here we have, you know, the legs, the boots. The arms are, I would say they're a bit retooled as far as I can see. And obviously it's a different head sculpt and a neck piece, but another character that shares the same body mold is Lieutenant Falcon here. And yeah, we can see the similarities in the same pants and boots, which at first I really didn't like that choice of using this particular body mold. I just have had a horrible experience with it. You know, tight knees, very tight ankle joints. You know, it's very hard to get them to go back and forward and all that stuff. I just don't love it. At least the lower torso part, not a big fan of it. But I think they've redeemed themselves. I mean, there's also the weird scuffing that goes with the hip joints because it rubs off when you don't use the drop down hips. So that's a bit of a shame. You know, I think this guy also has some scuff going on with his joints. But I think they've overall did a better job, whatever they did with the plastic, because this knee was very smooth, which I love. And then this one was a bit tight, but you know, as you can see, I can move it now pretty smoothly. So I love that. The boots, they swivel, which wasn't really an issue, but you know, the peg that they use is too soft, and whenever I go to bend, you know, the toe, the ankle, you can see the gappage there. It starts to bend the peg over here. So, you know, I have to hold on to the boot and then go back, forward. And even though they kind of made it better, you know, this side is pretty smooth so far. It goes up and back pretty damn good. It's just this side that I'm struggling with now. And you know, that's scary too, because you know, you may stress out the peg that goes into the foot and you have another issue there. So I hope Hasbro can somehow fix up this mold at the feet at this point. That's my real issue right there. It's the mold, and you know, the figure looks great, but this mold, I really don't like it too much. But anyway, I've complained about the mold already. You can see down there you have the sculpted kind of shirt that goes all the way down, and then you get the Cobra. This is where the arms are a bit of a retool, because we do have the watch, and even then it may be completely different arm because we have a vein here with Lieutenant Falcon, and we don't have that vein over here. We have new gloves for the Televiper and these new pouches that are on the sort of bicep area as well, so that's very cool. We get the radar on his forearm there, very cool. And then yeah, new belt piece. Sorry, I'm running out of breath, but there's so much to look at this guy. We get the new belt piece here, you know, some pouches that go on the side over here, a little kind of phone device there, little iPod touch there, new vest overlay, very cool. And it's also very soft, which I love. And then we do have, you know, patterning here on the back, you know. And throughout this review, you know, I forgot to bring out our vintage one, which, you know, I'll make a comparison in a separate video. This video will probably be long enough on its own. That being said, articulation wise, this guy's pretty good. He looks up, down. Not the greatest or the worst, but yeah, you do get some up and down. Some great pivoting. You get arms that go, you know, T-pose. There you go. Very nice. And mine locks into place for some reason there. And then you get the bicep swivel, of course. You get double jointed arms, so very cool. They go up about that much. Both hands are horizontal hinges, so they go side to side, both. So side to side here. And then even with the what's it called, the vest overlay, he can still crunch pretty darn good. I mean, because the vest doesn't really reach all the way towards the waist, you know, like the Televiper that goes all the way down to the waist area. No, this area is completely free. He can crunch forward, so that's very cool. He can crunch back. Like I said, not using the drop down hips is gonna get you some scuffage there. So as you can see, I've already dinged up my figure, but you can drop down the hip, go pretty far up, out. You do get the upper thigh cut like I demonstrated. You have the double jointed knees. You get the boot swivel, and these boots go back about that much and forward about that much. So yeah, my only minor complaint is the body mold they went for with the legs. The knees are a step above. They're not as tight, but now we gotta fix these ankles, Hasbro. I don't know what plastic you're using, but it's too soft. The peg going in here is too soft, and I already complained about it, so I won't go into it anymore. But I love how this guy looks. If there's something about purple in action figures, or at least Cobra members, that I really love, and Televiper is one of those, you know, purple members, the Techno Viper being another one, and the Saw Viper being another one that are, you know, purple, and they just look amazing, and I can't wait to get those. And I'm so happy to have this guy here in his purple and blue glory. So with that being said and done, I'm going to remove this Boba Trubble. We'll put you in the corner, and we'll bring out our other one just to show you guys how this is packaged. We'll remove all these things out of the way, make some space, and it's time to get into some action here. Remove the tape on the side. This is how you'll see once you open it. There's a flap. Bring it all out. There it is. You know, you have all these different straps here. Televiper there. And then we get the box, which is way deep in there. And as you can see there, there's all the goodies. Might as well open these guys up. As you can see, there's part of the Trubble bubble, and cut that open. So there's the propellers kind of system. You know, they move side to side. And then you do have the other bag of goodies with the rest of the accessories. And then you do get the Trubble bubble gun in another cardboard piece. So cut that open, and there it is. And this one is more straight than the other one I have. So there's how that is packaged. And then I'll get these guys out of the way, and then I'll show how to put together the Trubble bubble. Alright, now that I got everything out, here is our Trubble bubble. And then we have our other Viper. Let's bring out our other Viper, put him there. And we'll bring up our other bubble, put it over here. But it's real simple. I mean, this connects to the back over there. And it should be kind of a tight fit in there. You know, it's not gonna, you know, detach easily. And then you do get this, so you know, be aware. A lot of people are having brake issues with this. I live in the hot state, so hopefully the heat is enough to make this to a point where it's not hard to pour it in. And there you go. You want to hear it click. And you know, same thing happened here. I have some whitening on the gun there, and on this side too. So as you can see that, I don't know if that's going to be an issue later on. I hope it's not, but you can see how it can pretty much move up and down and pivot and all that stuff, rotate and all that stuff. But yeah, just be careful with that. Some people use that weird oil thing, and apparently that didn't help either, or heating up the gun. So I really don't know the best advice to give you guys, but just be mindful and be careful when porting it in. And then lastly, there isn't much more to assemble other than these pieces, and you know, you just gotta mix and match, or make sure you know you're matching the pieces well. Maybe this piece goes on this side, it doesn't want to go there. There you go. Put that piece there, put this other piece on this side, goes in there, and then you know there is a key to the rockets here. Port that in. And lastly, we'll talk about the rocket. There is a little tiny hole there, but there isn't really any way of using blast effects or the missile effects that came with Bazooka. Maybe when the Dragonfly comes out, we'll be able to, you know, interchange, you know, those blast effects from those missiles with this Trubble bubble. We'll just have to wait and see. The canopy here, like I said, some people are having issues with it, and I'm just gonna, you know, line up this side, and then this is where people are having issues, this side not going in. So I'm just gonna squish it, you know, squish it a little bit, and then just force it in there, and there you go, it's in there. So yeah, not real tough, and I don't think there's any, you know, worrisome of breaking it, but there it is, fully assembled. Now I have two. And what are my plans for these? I'm obviously gonna display them, you know, I'm gonna try and hang them up or something, or maybe make some sort of, you know, aerial display or something. I still gotta figure out a way to display them, but will I be putting my Televipers in there? I don't think I will. I really love how these guys look. You know, one of my favorite Cobra Troopers. So I may just put regular, you know, blue Cobra Troopers in them, and then, you know, just display them in there. And then these guys are gonna stay on the ground like they're supposed to, because, you know, they're telecommunication officers. But yeah, that will do my review. It's pretty lengthy, but there is a lot to look at. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. With that being said, I'm at a loss for words, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a future review. And with that being said, look at this. I have some paint mishap on the visor there. Just as soon as the video is about to end, I see some paint spillage. I can probably remove that. Alright, all fixed. Anyway, once more, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a future video.